Well, the polls closed as of 3 minutes ago. Good evening, everybody. I'm Earl Camembert, along with Floyd Robertson here at Election Central. And Floyd, let's take a look at some of those returns.
Earl, the polls closed 3 minutes ago. There are no returns yet.
Oh, just a little anxious, I guess.
We did find out, however, that a record turnout voted today. 18% of Mellonville's population cast their ballots. Up from 6% 2 years ago.
Well, Floyd, whoever said that Mellonvillonians are apathetic can now eat their shorts. Words.
Well, while we're waiting for those early returns, last week SCTV televised a debate between the three candidates running for city council. For those of you who missed it, here are some edited highlights of that show.
Good evening, I'm Earl Camembert. I'm sitting with three candidates running for a seat on city council. Shirley McLennan-Black, Jack Brown, and a local favorite, a man who I feel can really do the job, Johnny LaRue. Okay, let's talk turkey.
That's my favorite topic, Earl.
Great sense of humor, Johnny. Just what you need in a high-pressure job like the one you're running for. All right, let's start with the topic for debate. A 300-acre tract of land just outside Mellonville is being rezoned for industrial development. Now, as a professional journalist and a concerned citizen, I want to know where you stand. So, women and children first. Let's start with Shirley McLennan-Black.
Oh, could you just say the first part again, please?
What?
The question?
The 300-acre tract of land just outside Mellonville. Where do you stand on the issue?
Yes, of course. Well, Earl, as an actress turned politician, I would like to meld the two together. And on that tract of land, Earl, I would like to build a political theater where the people can come to me and I can perform for them. Because I work best in front of an audience.
Jack Brown.
Well, it's not a question of zoning, Earl, as far as I can see. I believe it's more a question of facing the ultimate global confrontation. We all know what's going to happen. The question is when, and are we ready? A lot of people say I'm a young politician with old ideas. I like that. That's very important to me. Whatever happened to the days when we could walk softly and carry a big stick? I think we should bring those days back and bring them back to Mellonville. What we need, basically, is something to unite the people, a common enemy, a war. We need hatred to bring the people back together again. And I think that's important, and one of the ways that we might be able to do it is by taking this 300-acre tract of land and using it for military purposes. I mean, God knows we give enough foreign aid to countries all over the world, and what we got to do now is make this a military installation, perhaps a missile silo, you know, where we have our own defense built right in. There we can pick out our own common enemy, go to an atlas, flip through the back pages of the index, pick a country, any country at all. Unite the people of Mellonville together. Then and only then will we be able to protect our farms, our source of food, from the Asian hordes that we all know are coming. Because after all, if we don't eat, we'll get thin. And who wants to be as thin as those Asians,
Very interesting. And now, not to show any favoritism, I've saved the best for the last. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny LaRue.
Thank you, Earl. You people may or may not know this, but I was born right here in Mellonville. That's right. My roots are here. Sure, I left for a few years, but I'm back to stay. And you know, I think the good people of Mellonville, they know me, and they know what I stand for. Sure, I caused a lot of scandals in the past, and I apologize for them, but let bygones be bygones. Let's move ahead. On to that 300 acres of land. You know what I'd like to do with them? I'd like to turn it into a bird sanctuary and a gambling casino. Because birds are God's little creatures, and I know the good people of Mellonville love God's little creatures and crabs. Thank you.
Gambling, tourists, more money in Mellonville? Sounds great to me.
Sounds ridiculous to me, Earl, especially when viewed with the fact that you are his campaign manager and everybody knows it. That makes this debate a farce.
I hope you lose.
Oh, come on. Talk about biased journalism. I wish Floyd Robertson ran this debate.
And I think women should stay out of politics and start baking more cookies.
You see what I'm up against, Earl? You see what I'm up against here? Cheap, slanderous remarks from these opponents of mine, these so-called opponents. And they have nothing to do with the issues. They're intended solely to put a black mark on your good career and character. If I were you, I'd sue the pants off both of them. Well, I gotta go to a Negro luncheon right now. Make sure those campaign posters are up at 6.
Okay, Johnny.
Don't touch me. I don't know where you've been.
I'm not shaking hands with you, you four-eyed bozo. Get out of here.
Gotta be objective.
I am objective. Two things at once.
Look, you cannot run someone's campaign. No, you can't.
I can't, sir.
No, no, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
I can.
You cannot. We're back. And these early returns from Mellonville North. Picanini, the incumbent, 202 votes, leading both Axelrod and Melrose, who are tied at 76 votes each. Now, Axelrod and Melrose have been protesting Picanini's strong-arm tactics during the campaign, citing blackmail and physical threats to their wives and children. Well, it should be an interesting campaign to follow. Earl?
Floyd, you've heard the old Gene Pitney tune, "The Night Has 1,000 Eyes." Well, those 1,000 eyes tonight are on the Mellonville West riding, where Jack Brown holds the lead. What? Sorry. Jack Brown holds the lead with 171 votes, followed closely by Shirley. No, I don't believe this. 165 people voted for Shirley McLennan-Black, a woman who's now in second place, followed closely by Johnny LaRue, who trails with... Well, he seems to be closing that gap rather quickly, and...
How many votes does he have, Earl?
Well, it doesn't say here, Floyd.
Oh, yes, it does. 5 votes? Well, it's a good thing for LaRue he got you to manage his campaign, huh? Could have been worse.
Floyd, it's obvious you know nothing about political strategy. The way I managed Johnny's campaign was that we start slow
And we gradually die out completely. We'll be back with more election coverage as soon as more results come in.
1, 2, 3, 4. Who are we for? Johnny LaRue. Knock that off.
New this season on SCTV.
Welcome back. This is Election Central, and these late returns just in. Joe Picanini has taken the seat for Mellonville North with 515 votes. That's 200 more than his closest rival, Michael Axelrod. And Earl, you have some late returns there, haven't you?
I sure do, Floyd. Harry Truman was defeated by Dwight D. Eisenhower. Get it, Floyd? Late returns.
Will you get on with it?
Seriously, Floyd, speaking of late returns, did you know that in the last municipal election, 66% of the voters, which would be 52% of the population, voted between the hours of 3 and 5, a sharp contrast to the 72 municipal election when 61% of the eligible voters, which at that time composed only 48% of the population, voted between the hours of 11 and 2. Now, you'll remember that was the year of the big baby boom, and a lot of eligible women were breastfeeding their babies, generally between the hours of 9 and 11, which allowed 33% of these nursing mothers to get to the...
Earl, what is your point?
Well, my point, Floyd, is that according to voter profile projections, 59% of the voters are expected today to vote between the hours of 4:15 and 5:35.
What is your point?
Floyd, my point is that 40% of today's voters under the age of 25 voted before 12:30, which means if we draw from the past, which is what I was getting at, the 30 to 50 age group who previously were voting between 9:30 and 1:10.
Silence yourself!
We'll be back with more election results in a few moments.
Get those statistics.
Hello again from Election Central. This is Floyd Robertson. And in case you haven't already heard, Melonville West was the hot district in today's election. Shirley McLennan-Black just overtaking Jack Brown for that all-important seat. Johnny LaRue's showing was a disappointment, to say the least. Now, I understand Johnny's going over to his campaign headquarters. Earl Camembert should be there to get a reaction from LaRue on his defeat. Earl, are you there?
Don't forget to hand in your buttons and your hats before you go, everybody. Listen, please don't take them home. We can still get some money back for them. Now, here comes Johnny, everybody. He's coming in now, so let's have some applause and cheers. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he...
Shut up, Camembert.
It's not my fault, Johnny. I did everything I could.
I'll deal with you later. Get out of here. Well, I guess you expect me to say it was a good, clean race and that the best man won. Or broad, as the case may be. Shut up. You're not going to hear that from me. Nope. I'm bitter. I'm real bitter. But I learned something from all of this. I learned that the good people of Melonville are all idiots. You people are nothing more than dirt farmers. You don't know a good thing when you see it. Now get out of here. Clean out. Come on. Pack it up. Move on.
Great speech, Johnny. Johnny LaRue, big man in defeat. Floyd?
Well, congratulations once again to Shirley McLennan-Black. Oh, and Earl, Shirley's reporting you, by the way, to the National Election Campaign Committee, the FCC, and the National Association of Broadcast Journalists for conflict of interest, breach of journalistic integrity, and other illegal endeavors during the campaign.
Let them eat cake.
Well put. Well, the controversial baby seal hunt has started up.
Pardon me, Earl, I read that already. I did that item.
Looks like the unique method of launching the space shuttle is well on its...
Earl, I did that one too. It was a good item. I took it.
These were my news items, Floyd.